What is good, you guys? Savannah people here, back with another YouTube video, and yeah, don't mind my hair and everything. I'm not really feeling the best. By the title of this video, you guys already know I'm going to be talking about the famous HBO series Euphoria. Now, if y'all have not watched Euphoria, I would highly recommend going to do so. But I am also going to be putting a trigger warning here. If y'all are addicts or anything, please do not watch this video. This video will be very triggering. So there is your warning. But I relate to this show a lot. It's one of my favorite shows that have came out on HBO. I have watched every single fucking episode. And it's just a really good series. I hope they continue to expand the series, because I'm actually really curious on what's going to happen. As you guys may know, it is Euphoria Sunday. Every single Sunday they come out with a new episode of Euphoria. So the main person I really want to talk about in this video is Rue from Euphoria. Now, like I said, the trigger warning. Rue is a drug addict, and I relate to this character because my sister is an addict, when I was I'm literally watching a video that's called An Addict's Opinion on Euphoria Glamorizing Drugs. Do I necessarily believe that Euphoria glamorizes drugs? Yes, I do. But there's also a lot of pros and cons to this show that nobody really talks about. Now let me go on to explain a little bit about why I relate to this. I relate to Rue's little sister because my sister is an addict. One of my older sisters. Some of you may know her, others may not. I'm not going to say her name. But I relate to Rue's little sister a lot because I had to witness my sister use. I witnessed a lot for a little kid. I don't want to go into too much detail because that part of my childhood was very, 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 very hard. But it was very difficult to deal with seeing my sister this sick. So Euphoria, glamorizes drugs and everything, but it does show its pros and cons to it. You just have to really pay attention to the details. I know the pros and cons because, like I said, I have had to deal with an addict my entire life. So I could tell. And with the details that this person that I'm watching is saying, I've noticed that a lot, all the details and everything, a lot in this series that they have going on. So I'm basically just going to restart it. I was about 12 minutes in. So
if I quit that addiction, I get addicted.
Her name is Anna Campbell. I will link her video in the description box below.
Back to my channel. Now, you may be thinking,
I'm going to be snacking on some peanut Cheerios.
And yes, I did. Which was technically today, because it's Saturday right now. It's Saturday night, and I'm filming this video to post it tomorrow, because tomorrow is Euphoria Sunday. But it's not just any Euphoria Sunday. It is unfortunately and sadly the last episode of season 2. I could cry, but I won't. I could though. Now clearly you already see the title of this video, an addict's opinion on whether or not Euphoria is glamorizing drugs. If I'm being honest, even as an addict, I think the show is absolutely genius. But I'm going to explain my reasoning. So quick little background about myself, just in case you clicked on this video. I really
like this series. I really hope they continue to like expand it because, like I said, it's a really good show.
Since I've been about 23 and I'm 29 now. Thankfully I didn't become a member of the 27 club. I really thought I was going to for a while. So yeah, I struggled with drugs for like the past 5 years, I would say, and pretty much every drug you can think of. And at first it really was just like innocent, experimenting, having fun, partying, and I learned what addiction was really, really quick. And before I knew it, I found myself trying to get sober and failing, and trying to get sober and failing, and relapsing, and I just really realized I am an addict. Like, I am stuck in this cycle of getting addicted to, if not one type of drug, a different type of drug, and if I quit that addiction, I get addicted to something else. It's a really like tough realization when you realize like this isn't, you know, for fun. This is because I actually can't stop. And as the years went on and the addictions got worse and worse, I basically just turned into more of like a stereotypical addict. I started to lie all the time.
So basically, what my sister did when she was younger, was she would lie all the time. She would sneak in boys. She would sneak in the drugs. She would have me lie and cover for her. Like, that is what my sister would make me do. So, yeah. She would make me lie for her. She would make me try and, like, cover for her and just shit like that. And I sometimes would do it. Other times I wouldn't. Because back then I thought this is, like, a normal thing to do. You know, this is completely normal. But now that I'm 19 and I have a kid of my own, and now that I look back on it, I'm like, what the fuck did she make me do? Like, why did she do that? So that's basically what addicts do. They manipulate you into doing a lot of things. My sister is a master manipulator. Now, I don't want to put her on blast. Like, I want to make an entire video about this fucking chick, because I unnecessarily am done with her bullshit. But there's a lot of stuff going on, so I'm not going to expose her. At least right now. Not until the situation that's going on is solved and covered. So, yeah, that's basically what addicts do.
It's just doing things that only addicts would do. I started having major health effects like kidney infections, lung infections. My nasal cavity was like decaying. I've been to countless amounts of emergency rooms and hospitals from overdoing it, and I've been to one detox center. So, needless to say, I'm no stranger to drug addiction, and
sorry, my shorts are a little too tight. Alright, I do want to say that she is sober now. She did end up going to treatment for like a week, and then I kept her there for 5 extra days. So, yeah, she is sober now. And then she relapsed, and then she got sober again. So she is clean now. Just wanted to say that.
Recovery and relapse and everything that comes along with addiction. I just wanted to make that kind of clear, give that little like disclaimer, because again, the title of this video is An Addict's Opinion, and I just wanted to let you guys know that I do have a little bit of history with addiction. So what gave me the idea to make this video is that I recently saw that Dare came out and made a comment about Euphoria. I'll get into it a little bit later in this video. I just think it's a good time to talk about this now because, like I said, people are talking about whether or not it's a positive or negative thing when it comes to glamorizing drug use and sex and everything else that the show shows. And also, like I said, it's the last episode today, so it's a good time to talk about it. I want to see discussions in the comments below. I want to know what you guys think is going to happen tonight, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me get right to the point. Do I think Euphoria glamorizes drugs? Yeah, I do. But here's the thing, right? So when you show something on TV that is seen as bad, but you portray it as something, you know, that's fun and exciting, it's going to be seen as glamorizing it. But that's literally how life works. There is good and bad to literally everything. There's darkness and light. There's light and darkness. You can't have one without the other. And this goes for drug use too, especially when like trying to portray drug use in the media when it comes to movies and TV shows, and trying to get young kids to understand what drug use can do to you. You can't just show one side of it. You think that would help them? Like, if the show just showed the bad side of drugs and didn't show the fun side of drugs and the partying, what would that do? It wouldn't be realistic at all, and it wouldn't leave a realistic impact, because that's not how drugs work. And that's definitely not how life works in teenagers and young adults. Like, say Euphoria only showed people getting arrested and overdosing and dying on drugs. It wouldn't be seen as glamorizing it, right? But it's because they're showing, you know, the girls taking Molly and them partying and them feeling good, and, you know, the scene when Rue is like, I'm so happy, when she takes that random ass psychedelic that she doesn't even know what it is. That's the reality behind drugs. However, it doesn't always stay like that, and this is why
every single time my sister was high when she lived with us, she had different attitudes. There was a violent side of her, and then there was like this nice side of her, but you usually never got the nice side. It was always the mean, violent side. Now, I also want to bring this up because my sister attacked me one day and left like this big old fucking scratch like down my arm and everything, and that is when I decided I wanted nothing to do with her. Like, that was kind of like when I called it quits and said, okay, if you want to fucking hurt me, like, then don't expect to be part of my daughter or I's life. And since then, I have not talked to her. I have not seen her. Well, I've seen her, but we just don't talk, so.
I think Euphoria is literally genius, because watching the show, I'm watching my life. Like, I feel like the show was written about me or for me or something. It's crazy. What I think Euphoria did a really good job at doing is showing that drugs affect everybody different. Like, you could be like Maddie and Cassie, for example, and do Molly every once in a while and be absolutely fine and never develop a drug problem. Or you could be like Rue and literally be able to do nothing in moderation whatsoever. I don't know, it's really hard to explain.
That is true. The drugs do affect everyone differently, whether if you're an addict or not. Like, if you know someone who is an addict, you have been affected by this person's actions. Like me, for example. I don't use, but my sister did, and I was affected by it, and I still am affected by it. Now, in one of the episodes, Maddie and Cassie take Molly, and it didn't affect them. And then with Rue, she takes all of these drugs and she cannot function. She's just like basically nothing in the world at that point. Like Anna said, it affects everyone differently.
Like, I'm able to see that, yes, the show does glamorize drugs, and
it really does
make it look fun, and I would be lying as an addict if I said it
again,
didn't
trigger
make me
warning,
miss getting high. But I can just see both sides. I can see both ends of the sword.
We're about 5 minutes in
the show has way more
to this
pros
video
than cons, and like, come on, if you really think about it, fucking Dare is worried about kids being influenced by this. Like, no 14, 15, 16-year-old is going to see Zendaya snorting a line of heroin in Euphoria and have no history of drug use whatsoever, and then go out and buy heroin and snort it. Like, it's not gonna happen. You have way more of a higher chance of your child getting introduced to drugs at school, or friends, or even family members. Like, if you've watched every episode of Euphoria, think about specific scenes for a second. Like what I mentioned earlier, the scene when Rue does the random psychedelic and she's like, I'm so happy. Or when her and Elliot are snorting something and dancing around the room playing the guitar. It's either heroin or coke. Probably I don't know, actually, because they seemed a little energized, but at the same time, I don't think Rue does coke. Or does she do coke? I think she only fucks with downers and opiates and heroin this season. I don't think I remember her saying anything about coke. But then again, it's Rue, and Rue is an addict. And like myself, I'd probably just do anything. So who knows what it was. The point is they were snorting something, and they were having like the best time ever. And it was honestly like a really cute scene, even though she was being super sketchy to Jules. But it's okay because Jules ended up being even more sketchy to her.
I don't like her.
It's not okay, but they all suck. But the point of what I'm trying to make is
and fuck
that
Elliot
she'll
too.
need scenes like this to
and
show
fuck Nate.
that drugs also do make you feel really good, and they have a positive side effect as well, because you need that to make it realistic, to leave a realistic impact, because that's, again, the truth. Why would people do drugs if they didn't make them feel good? And I should just say something. I should have this in the beginning of the video, but I'll just say it now. Don't take what I'm saying and think that it is like relatable to you. Like, if you're an addict, just because I'm also an addict and I am able to watch Euphoria does not mean you should watch Euphoria.
That's why I put a trigger warning in the beginning of this video.
And just because it doesn't make one person relapse does not mean it won't make another person relapse.
I'm putting a big risk putting this video out there, but
like
I want to share my opinions on Euphoria.
Like, without a doubt, I know it has. But that's not the show's fault. It's not the actor's fault. And it's certainly not Sam's fault. Sam is honestly a fucking genius. He's a recovered addict or a recovering addict, whatever. That's like therapy. It's therapy.
Okay. So I'm not going to watch her entire video because I want y'all to have the opportunity to watch it on your own time. Oh my god, my phone is being stupid. So I relate, like I said, to Rue's little sister the most because of the fact that one of my older sisters is an addict, was an addict, whatever. You guys get the point. And how hard it must be for Rue's little sister to see Rue do this to herself, to kill herself every single fucking day, and knowing that Rue's little sister cannot do anything about it because you cannot help someone that does not want to help themselves. And it sucks. It really does. But at the end of the day, all you can do is pray. And pray that God has their back. Because he had my sister's back. I may not have forgiven her for the majority of the stuff that she has done to me, but I'll forgive her one day. And that's all that matters. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, those post notifications, and then let you guys know I will post. Share with you guys as friends if you guys enjoyed, and give this video a big thumbs up. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.